What's going on, guys? It's me, Sammy Mong, and today we are back on Albion Online. It's been a while, just doing a few general things, jumping into some dungeons, chasing some people down, nothing too exciting, because I wanted today's video to be a bit of a discussion video on the topic of, is Albion Online dying? Okay, now two things come to mind, purely because I've seen two arguments, mainly revolving around this subject, and that is population and solo players versus group players. So we're just going to touch on this a little bit. Be sure to comment down below because I want to hear your opinions and comments, and I just want you to get involved. Okay, I want to hear what people are saying about this. So to start it off, we're going to go through population. One of the main factors that I've seen recently is Albion Online's dying, it's got no population left. And I'm just there like, well, if you played games like Riders of Icarus, say, like we used to have on the channel, you'll see very clearly that Albion is far greatly populated in that game, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm seeing why they're this argument's coming up. Like, there's hardly anyone in the open world, people say. Like, I can't go out and gank, and I get it. Like, yeah, fair enough, but it doesn't mean the game is dying, okay? If you go around to the cities, especially in Carleon, look, you can still see that there's a lot of people here just from a quick circle, and that's not even in the bank, that's not even in the auction house. Like, there's still going to be people out in the city as well, like crafting stuff, like people I just can't see on my screen right now. There's still a healthy population of people. Just because it's, say, not out in the open world, not in this particular area of the game that you enjoy, doesn't mean that the game is dying, okay? If you actually check their website, it says they've got 250,000 active players at the moment. Now, me being a solo player, I love how a game is populated, but I really am not that bothered either. Like, it's a two-way argument. I could do a whole video on it, but the population just... It doesn't matter. Like, the game's not dying just because less people are playing it. Like, if you really want to see a dying game, go into the Steam charts and just scroll down to where there's less than 1,000 people playing. They're gonna play that game because they enjoy it, okay? Not because people are on it. And the second argument to this whole discussion is the fact that solo players are just bored and are just leaving. Well, I'd like to point out the fact that the game is actually sandbox and it's full loot as well, so you're not going to attract that many players to a game where you could work your ass off for weeks, maybe even months in some cases, like the Diaball or tier 8.3 items, just to have it taken away in a second. Like, some people really don't like that idea, whereas some people love that idea because, yeah, it could happen to them, but then they could go out and do it to other people. But that's where the catch-22, so to say, comes in, is that there's no one out in the open, the population's dying. I want to slap people, literally just want to slap people around the head, like, calm it. Now, my grasp or my gripe with the game at the moment is that I feel that the population is lowering because there isn't enough things to do for solo players. Like, when you think about it, what have you really got as a solo player? I mean, the whole game in my eyes is revolved around just taking territories, leveling up your crafting, your weapon skills, and that's what I really like. Like, I'm not even in a guild at the moment. I'm just logging in to farm my carrots and just grind away at my weapon levels. Like, when you think about it, there's no actual reward to a solo player grinding away their weapon levels. Yeah, they go from T6 to T7 to T8, but what are they going to do at T8? Yeah, they can do exactly what they were doing before, grinding away and ganking people, just at a more powerful level. The only reward is, say, if you get to T8 and then you join a GVG team and start taking over these territories, which, by the way, can I just point out quickly now, if you go to any territory at the moment, 9 out of 10 you won't actually find anyone gathering inside the territory. The tier 8 resources will still be up, or 50-50 the tier 8 resources will still be up. Like, I'm just presuming that the only time those, like, territories are actually used is when the top tier gatherers have to gather the tier 8 items. So it's kind of coming full circle. You've got group players that are grinding away to take these useless territories that solo gatherers aren't even using, and then you've got solo players that are just sort of there like, well, there's not any gatherers out in the open, out in the wild. I'm getting kind of bored just running around. The population's dying. I don't know what to do. So It's like the impossible force and the unmovable object. Is that what it is? Is it the unmovable object and the impossible force? But it's like they're meeting together in the middle. What you really need is something for groups to do other than just take territories. Like, yeah, there's hellgates and stuff, but all that really is like a glorified solo player's game. A solo player goes out and ganks to get gear. A group will go to a hellgate to gank another group and get gear. But at the end of the day, it all just comes down to the point of this game isn't like World of Warcraft or Riders of Icarus or just Ion, Arcade, stuff like that. Things that have got entertainment put into the core of the game. Dungeons, raids, mechanics. This game is at its core a grind fest and a just sort of skill-based PvP game. Like, you're not going to find, as I said, dungeons or just hard mechanics. All you're going to find is other players to match and test your skill against. So as I said, guys, I want to hear your opinions down below. There wasn't too much going on in this video. I did go into a few dungeons. I am trying to still level up my bloodletter in between my carrot farming and my wood chopping. And if you would like to see some other general gameplays, just going in, doing a bit of grinding, doing a bit of gathering out in the open wild, trying to survive against the very lack of few solo players that are still about, then be sure to leave that like down below or just comment down below if you want to see it. Get involved in the discussion. As I said, I want to hear what you have to say. Is there any features that you could potentially want to see added to the game in the future? Like, we are only one update in, and they have 4 major updates planned down on the roadmap on their website. So it would be nice to see what they added. If you want to see more gaming content, be sure to take a look at my Twitter and my Instagram. As always, thank you for the support, and I shall see you in the next video.